So let's rank all the films I watched for the first time for the month of July 2024. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dewalt, better known to as the Big D, and I'm back with another ranking. This time around, I'm going to be ranking my first time watches for last month, July 2024. There are 18 films. I had to reshoot this because I accidentally had 15 and then 16. I failed to have two on my list, so I apologize for the delay and what have you. You'll get the rewatches ranking sometime next week, okay? And I do apologize for this. I was going to leave you a vid, but I said no. I'll just bring it up in this one, okay? There are 18 films. I'm not going to go quickly and what have you. That's for first. That's for rewatches. But this is first time watches, so let's get started with this ranking. Sit back, relax, and here we go. Coming in at number 18 is Surf Ninjas from 1993. This film was okay and what have you. It wasn't as good as I hoped it would be. I mean, as much as I liked the Three Ninjas films, this was kind of to take on that, but just differently, though. And it kind of had a weird villain with a little cybernetic feature and what have you. Kind of like what we got in Mr. Nay with Hulk Hogan, which of course this was released by the same studio and features Ernie Reyes Jr. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that last name. You might remember him from the second Ninja Turtles live action film, also from New Line. Yeah. But I gotta say, Rob Schneider was in this. I didn't know he was in this film. He was okay. But I gotta say, this was just kind of okay film and what have you. I may rewatch it again someday, but I don't know. Anyway, it did have a little bit of fun moments and action and what have you, but that's all I can tell you. Now, coming in at number 17 is My Spy, The Eternal City. And this is a brand new sequel to the film that came on Prime Video a few years back. Dave Bautista and Chloe Coleman are back. They're still good, but this just wasn't as quite close to as good as its predecessor, though. But I still think it had some fun moments and had a few good action-packed bits and what have you. It's just that kind of was a little bit of a mixed bag though, almost, but it still had its moments though. So I think it was fine and what have you. Check out my review of this if you haven't seen it yet. Anyway, it's My Spy, The Eternal City. An okay sequel, but still, I like the first one a little better. And coming in at number 16 is A Family Affair. Now, this is a new Netflix film. It had a few fun moments, but well, I'm gonna say it had some fun moments between Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron, but Joy King really makes a few fun appearances in this, and why at least since she's one of the stars. But please, I'm not quite saying what I really mean is. But anyway, Joy King was really funny in this one and why have you. But I did like Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron's performances in this film. I recently included this in one of my mini reviews vids. You can check it out. We'll see where the other film that I did in the mini reviews vid with this later on. Anyway, A Family Affair wasn't too bad. Now, coming in at number 15 is State Park from 1988. Now, this is a rare movie and what have you. You can find the full movie on Tubi. This was kind of a crazy film. Guy dresses up in a bear costume, trying to scare off these construction workers who are trying to close down a park and put illegal toxic waste and what have you in some spots and what have you. Yeah. Kim Myers, you may know from Nightmare on Elm Street 2, she's in this film. That's the reason why I watched this because of her. I could not believe it. I mean, it was just so good. It has a few funny moments in YB, so I think you'll like it if you give it a shot. Like I said, the full movie's on Tubi. You can probably find it on other streaming services, so maybe YouTube as well. Perhaps. Just check it out. I might review this sometime sooner and what have you. But anyway, it kind of made me feel like I was seeing Ernest Goes to Camp, which came out a year before, except for in a much more mature way. Kind of, well, think of it as kind of like a, well, I don't know, Ernest Goes to Camp and Meatballs with a little bit of R-rated comedy, teen comedies rolled into one. Get get the picture? Good. And coming in at number 14 is Disney's Descendants: The Rise of Red. Now, while this wasn't quite close as good as the first three films and what have you, but this was a continuation after the events of the animated Royal Wedding special. It does have some pretty fun characters and what have you. I did like the character, well, the gal who played Red and Chloe. They were good characters. It was good to see Brandy back as Cinderella in this. That was really cool. So anyway, yeah, if you haven't seen my review of this yet, check it out. Anyway, the film is now back on Disney Plus after it was unfortunately removed a week after, but it was for a reason. But now, of course, it's right back on there, so you'll be able to see it. And it is coming up on Disney Channel as well, if you haven't seen it yet. So, anyway, well, as I've said, not not as good as the other three, but it almost tries to do its extreme best. But it does have a good set of tunes, though, and I like that. Really something. Check this film out if you haven't already. Next up at number 13 is Love Lies Bleeding. Now, this is a recent hit for A24, and let me tell you, this film was whoa, pretty bloody intense and what have you. Kristen Stewart does an exceptionally good job in her performance in this film. And same can be said for Katie O'Brien as well, who plays this bodybuilder. Really takes this here drug and what it. I can't be too sure what it is, but it really causes her veins to like whoa. She really gets all. But if you haven't seen this film yet, you should. I will be doing a spoiler-free review of this next week. Well, actually, this weekend. So be ready for it. Love Lies Bleeding is wow. I'll tell you more about it in my spoiler-free review. Okay. Next film coming in at number 12 is Dr. Phibes Rises Again from 1972. Now, this is the sequel to The Abominable Dr. Phibes, which we'll see where that winds up later on. I will say that I recently saw this film, and Vincent Price again does a good job on the titular character, just like he did in the first. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Rest of the cast isn't too bad either. I mean, I gotta say these films were really shocking and really something. If you didn't see my last vid on the pickups with the schedule for this month, you saw that I got a Blu-ray set containing those two films. Anyway, Dr. Phibes Rises Again. It's pretty eerie and what have you. I know it is a shame that it got toned down just a little bit from its predecessor though, but still not bad of a sequel. Vincent Price again good. I'll try and review that soon. And coming in at number 11 is Despicable Me 4. Now, this is the brand new sequel, and while it's good and all, it's not quite close to as good as, well, even the first two, but it is still a little bit fun and wavy. It has way too many characters, though, but even so, I found it to be pretty fun, though, and entertaining. Steve Carell, once again, great job as Gru. Everyone else in this was really good, too, even some of the new characters. So, overall, I think this film was just pretty funny and what have you. I do know we'll be getting another Minions film. Will we begin a fifth Despicable Me? Well, let's not jump to a yet. But anyway, Despicable Me 4, it's fun. It's not the best that Illumination has given us, though, but it's fine, though. Alright, coming in at number 10 as we start the top 10. At number 10 is Time Cop from 1994. I won't get into too much of this. I'm thinking about revisiting this sooner or later and then review for Super Sci-Fi September next month. Anyway, this is a pretty underrated Jean-Claude Van Damme film, which of course is based on the Dark Horse Comics character of the same name. Anyway, this film did pretty well despite it got mixed in what reviews and what have you, and is regarded by critics as one of Jean-Claude's best films. Well, I will say I agree. It's pretty good. But I better not jump ahead of myself before I even do a review of this. Anyway, this film's pretty cool in my opinion. Boy, I got to enjoy it. I know my buddy the Porch Man enjoyed it as well. Definitely. So Time Cop was definitely a pretty good Van Damme film. And I think this could eventually be one of my top 10 faves if I watch more of his films. Definitely. Next at number 9 is The Abominable Dr. Phibes from 1971. This film is what started out for Dr. Phibes, and I'm going to say this was a pre eerie film. Unfortunately, I fell asleep during some of it, but from what I've seen of the film, I thought it was pretty eerie and creepy. Vincent Price is definitely really good in playing the titular character. I must say it is really, really cool, and I can't say much more about this because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself if I decide to review this film and its sequel, as I've said already, for Spooktacular October. We'll see what happens when we get to it. But anyway, it was really a shocking, frightening, eerie film. Definitely. And coming in at number 8 is Fly Me to the Moon. Now, this is a new film with Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum. Unfortunately, this film's due has done even worse for Apple Films. I mean, I feel like they're really continuing their downward spiral since their last film before this, Argyle, didn't do so great, which I didn't see. Probably won't get to because I don't have Apple TV Plus. But anyway, Fly Me to the Moon. I feel like it was a nice little film, kind of underrated though, but I feel like it was fun though, and what have you. Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum were absolutely really good. I have this in a mini reviews vid with a family affair. If you haven't seen it yet, you should check it out. But anyway, Fly Me to the Moon, I thought it was pretty good with its sayings and what have you. Just so good. Mm-hmm. Next up at number 7 is Journey to the Center of the Earth from 2008. This is a sort of an update of the classic itself, but I'm gonna say this was really good, considering it has Brendan Fraser and Josh Hutcherson in this. I have to say it was very fun, pretty exciting, and what have you. I never did take the time to watch this, but now I have, and I think it's pretty good. It did get a sequel. That's still ahead. We'll see where it winds up. But anyway, I found Journey to the Center of the Earth 2008 to be pretty enjoyable. This film was just so much fun. I'll talk more about this when I review it in during Super Sci-Fi September, as long as I can remember that. Okay, so bear with me. But again, fun little film. And coming in at number 6 is Abigail. Now, this was released a few months ago this year. Of course, this film did alright. Not great, though, at the box office. I already reviewed this film. You can check out my spoiler free review of this. I have to say, this does have a pretty good cast and what have you, but I really was impressed with seeing young Alicia Weir, who, of course, played Matilda in Matilda the Musical as a titular character. I almost didn't recognize her, but who she was until I checked my source and saw it was her. This film is a pretty good vampire film. If you have not seen it yet, you should. Of course, it is on physical media and it's also now available to stream on Peacock. Abigail, it's pretty shocking and really, really bloody and what have you. I thought it was awesome. Definitely. Next at number 5 is Journey to the Mysterious Island from 2012. This, of course, is the sequel to the 2008 Journey to the Center of the Earth, only this time it has Dwayne Johnson in the role of the big guy taking charge of Josh Hutcherson's character. Anyway, they're both really good. Vanessa Hudgens is really good too. I must say, I enjoyed this just a little more than Journey to the Center of the Earth, but this film was just so incredible and amazing and epic. Definitely a very, very good film. But I'll talk more about this when I do a review of it later on next month. So if I can remember it, okay? Enough said. And coming in at number 4 is The Beekeeper, released earlier this year. Jason Statham did one hell of a job in his performance as a titular character. I enjoyed every bit of this. This film was awesome. And yeah, Josh Hutcherson was in this as well. Of course, a little more grown up. And I'm going to say this was just an awesome film. Check out my spoiler free review if you haven't seen it yet. This had some pretty good action and intense sequences that I could have even imagined. But hey, you can't go wrong with a Jason Statham film. It's really, really awesome. So cool and what have you. Next at number 3 is Beverly Hills Cop XLF. Now, this premiered exclusively on Netflix, and I'm going to say this was a big comeback. Finally, after all these years, we get a fourth Beverly Hills Cop film. After it had been 30 years since the third film came out, and everybody wasn't too thrilled with it, but it's good to have just a lot of the big guys back, including Eddie Murphy. Manages to really redeem himself big time, 110% with this film. I had a blast with this. It's had some good action sequences, and it was really funny and what have you. You can check out my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't seen it yet, so that way you'll know everything I said about this film. It was just so much fun. I really, really enjoyed Beverly Hills Cop XLF. Great film. Mm-hmm, definitely. And coming at number 2 is Twisters. Now, this is another long awaited sequel. The follow up to 1996's Twister was awesome. I enjoyed this a little more than its predecessor, but it was awesome. The cast was great. So was the sequences with those tornadoes. Really, really awesome. I thought this was just a fun filled thrill ride of a disaster movie. And this is another film I recently did a review of. You need to check it out to hear my full thoughts on it, okay? But it does have a good cast, though, and it was really, really awesome. And my number one first time watch of July 2024 is definitely going to be a surprise to you. That film is none other than Deadpool and Wolverine, which has now become the highest opening movie this year, surpassing Inside Out 2. Well, now, I'm going to say this was superb. Awesome. The MCU is back big time, 110% with this film. For my full thoughts on this film, check out my spoiler free review of it. I am going to say this was intense, fun filled, everything, just like the other Deadpool films. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were a great team and what have you. We got so many cameos, but I'm still gonna keep it hush hush if you have yet to see this film. But anyway, This film was so incredible. I'm just glad the MCU is back in business with this film. Definitely. It was just so awesome. Anyway, that's going to do it. So now you know Deadpool and Wolverine is my top first time watch of July 2024. What did you think of this ranking? What did you watch for the first time last night? You can give me your top pick, your top three, or your top five, or top 10, or whatever you want to do. Leave them for me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. Make it grow and make the views grow. And next time, I'll be bringing to you my Saturday morning TV log of my favorite Martians. So if you like this, check out the top three movies in this ranking that I've talked about. In the upper left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of Deadpool and Wolverine. The upper right-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of Twisters. And the bottom left-hand corner is my spoiler-free review of Beverly Hills Cop XLF. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.